Hello and welcome to my advanced engine scripting demonstration video. First off, I'm going to start with the projectile weapons. So I've got a grenade launcher and a rocket launcher and some grenades of ammo type. This turret here also uses a projectile to damage the enemies. If I just fire this, you can see it fires like a projectile. It's not particularly accurate at the minute because it's based off the animation, but then I can switch to the instant fire weapons, which just use line traces and a different ammo type. And this minigun as well uses a line trace to damage the enemies as well. So I can shoot and the shotgun as well, just pick some more ammo. Then next we have the pawns. This is the same as pawn as the character, so I can switch to it, and it'll also have an inventory which is just empty at the minute, but if I pick stuff up it will add it to the inventory. And then you can see when I switch back to the original character, he's got different items in his inventory, so they're stored locally and they don't get destroyed at all when you switch. So next one I've got this pawn as well has a different functionality. It's got like a different movement, it faces in the direction it's moving, and it can't jump, and it's got less health as well. So next up is the direct references. These two are separate blueprints, and it's basically this directly references the door blueprint to tell it to open. That's about it. And then the multi-objects, so these targets tell the manager here to they fire an event dispatcher, and it just turns the light on, and then it detects how many it has, how many have been hit, and it knows whether to turn it on or not. So next is the enabling input to an actor for the player controller. So at the minute if I press 2 it does nothing, but if I walk into the radius then it enables the input from the controller to the actor, and you can just turn the light on and off. You don't have to be looking at it or anything, just the input is inside of this blueprint. Then next is the interface. So a lot of my blueprints use interfaces, but here's a good example where if you look at the object, it'll tell it to begin the outline, and when you look away from it to a new actor, so it's doing a ray trace to a new actor, it will tell it to stop the outline again. So then when you pick it up, it messages it to say to add it to the inventory, and the inventory will ask for its item data and then just add it to the array in the inventory, and then if it can be added it returns back to that actor and tells it to destroy itself. So next you have the inventory itself, where the inventory is an array of structure, and so inside the structure is all of the item information you need to know about the pickup items, so such as the static mesh, the what blueprint to spawn when you drop them, so it has a reference to which blueprint it needs to spawn when you drop it. That's just a variable inside the components themselves, and there's also a weight limit, so you see there's 31.5 out of 50 there, and if I pick more stuff up it'll say inventory full in the top left there, but then when I drop them the weight goes down and you can pick more stuff up again. That's about it. So next is the enemy manager. This basically spawns enemies in waves, So it starts off with just a few, and when the turrets destroy them all, then the enemy manager will then detect that they've all been destroyed and spawn more of them. So the turrets will look through the array of enemies inside the weapon, inside the enemy manager, and it'll detect which one is closest to it, and when it finds the one that's closest to it, it basically faces towards it, and if it's in range, it'll begin shooting and doing damage to it. That's about it then.